Okay. Numbers 1. It says, describe the figure created when trapezoid is rotated about the y-axis. Please make sure you're paying attention to which axis it's rotating about. Those of you that missed this one on the quiz, it's just because you did the wrong axis. So if it's going around the y, you are going to take each point and go around, reflect it kind of around. What shape do I end up with when I do this? A what? A cylinder with a cone inside. Or a cylinder with a cone cut out. Any way you put that is fine. The radius of the cone is what? 2. And what's the height of the cone? 5. The radius of the cylinder, it's including the cone. What's the radius of the cylinder? 8. And what is the height of the cylinder? The same as the cone. Do I have any questions about that? Okay. If you were to cut these shapes out, each of these are kind of individually drawn right here. This would be an oval. This would be a hexagon. This would be a rectangle. Another hexagon. And this would be a circle. By the way, I have 3-dimensional shapes on the table over there. If you need to grab one during the test or want to raise your hand and ask me for one, I can get you one. Number 3 says the cross-section of a cone the cross-sections of a cone are always circles or triangles. And the instructions say to draw or describe a counterexample. What does a counterexample mean? Give me an example that makes this false, right? This statement is false. So, if I have this cone right here, goodness gracious, it's falling apart on me. I have this cone right here. If I were to slice it horizontally, do you agree I get a circle? That's not a counterexample. That proves that right. But what if I slice it diagonally? So oval would be an example of a counterexample because it's not a circle or a triangle. Also, I can slice this right here, and what do I get? What shape is that? A parabola. So a parabola also works as an answer. All right? One of my coworkers. It's okay, y'all. They can wait. Two similar solids have volumes 250 and 2,000 centimeters cubed. Find the lateral area of the smaller solid if the lateral area of the larger solid is 1,800. If I'm dealing with volume and area, I'm going to do my chart. What number goes up top? What number would you put up top? Why the smaller one? Because I want to find the lateral area of the... If I wanted to find the larger one, I'd put the larger on top. But I want to find the smaller one. What do I do now? Cube root it. I want to find the similarity ratio. So I'm going to cube root 250 over 2,000. And in Desmos, if I cube root 250 over 2,000, remember CBRT, or you can go to the other part. What do I get? I get 0.5, but I wanted a fraction, 1/2. So that's the similarity ratio, 1/2. Now, how am I going to find the area of the smaller one? Well, what's my old area? What are we looking for again? Lateral area, sorry. Lateral area is 1,800. What am I going to multiply by 1/2?
Yeah, 1/2 times 1/2.
No, that's the similarity ratio. How do I figure out the area ratio? 1/2 squared. What is 1/2 squared? I'm going to multiply it by 1/4. Does everybody see why I did not multiply by 1/2? You have to do the area ratio. And 1800 times 1/4 is 450. What are we dealing with here? Centimeters squared. Do I have any questions? All right. No, you're not. Okay, next question, number 5. Can I change it? Number 5, it says the volume of a cylinder is 20 cubic feet. If the radius of the base is tripled, and the height remains the same, what will the new volume be? Y'all, what do we know about volume of a cylinder? It's BH. But what do we know about the base of a cylinder? So it is pi r squared h. The radius is how many dimensions? 2D. The height is how many dimensions? 1D. And so therefore, if my radius is being multiplied times 3, and the radius is 2 dimensions, what does that mean it's actually going to be multiplied by? 3 squared, which is 9 times bigger. Does that make sense? If it's 3 times bigger, the radius is 3 times bigger, but in the formula, radius is squared, you're just going to square that 3, so 9 times bigger. What's my original volume? 20 times 9 is, my new volume is 180 feet cubed. You could write cubic feet, but that's the same thing as feet cubed.
Why did you multiply by the original volume?
Because I want to know the new volume, I have to have my original volume. And then multiply that by 9. What if my height is tripled? If the height is times 3, then what do I know? It is 1 dimension. And so if that is 1 dimension, do I need to square it? Nope. I just need to do what? It's 1 dimension, therefore it's going to be 3 times bigger. It's just that much bigger. So my volume is 20 times 3 is 60 feet cubed. Questions? Okay, on this one I'm going to go a little bit faster just because this is literally just plugging into the formula. What shape is this? This is a hexagonal prism. And for prism, my formulas are pH plus 2B, and big BH. The base is the bottom hexagon. How do I find the perimeter of that?
Multiply by 6.
8 times 6 is 48. What's the height of this prism? 16. And how do you find the base, the area of the base of a prism, or a hexagon? 1/2 AP. Now, do you agree I don't know my A, but I know P is 48? All right, so I'm going to have to find this little A right here. It's a hexagon. We've done these so many times. What have we learned about a hexagon?
That each part of those are 60s?
This is 30 degrees up here. If you didn't know that, what could you do? Divide 360 by 12. And then if this whole side is 8, what is this side down here? But does that make sense? 4. So what is my apothem going to be here? 4 root 3. To get an exact answer, because it says exact answers only, multiply those, and you get 96 root 3 meters squared. And now I'm just going to plug in these 3 numbers wherever it tells me to. So pH is 48 times 16, which gives me 768. This is going to be 768 plus 2 times 96 root 3. I don't like, honestly, I don't know if we'll have you give us an exact answer on this one or round, but the exact answer would be 768 plus 192 root 3. I don't see us asking you to do that, but you can't combine those because that has a square root and this one doesn't. And then big BH, 96 root 3 times 16. 96 times 16 is 1,536 root 3 meters cubed. I'm going to have to go a little faster to make sure. Do you have a question?
Why did you simplify the essay?
Because this has a square root and this one does not, so that's all I can simplify it. Because they're not like terms. You can't combine them.
But are you supposed to multiply 93 root 3 by 2? As the base?
I did. That's 192. 96 root 3 times 2 is 192. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go a little faster just because I want to get through all of this. So, the total surface area of a rectangular prism is 148. Total surface area of a prism, we just said, was pH plus 2b. You need to memorize these formulas. If that was 148, what is the perimeter of this base down here? It is 20. What's the height of the prism? I don't know. Plus 2, what is the area of this base right here? What is it? 24. And y'all, now this is basic algebra, 6th grade. Get h by itself. 148 equals 20h plus 48. What do I do to get h by itself? And then divide. What's 100 divided by 20? And so my answer is 5 inches. If you know the formula, you just plug in everything you know. The formulas are going to be what kills you on this. I'm right on that. I had a Quizlet in Schoology, but third period complained they didn't like the Quizlet. It confused them. So I redid a new Quizlet. It has, I think, 12 formulas because I included like area of a polygon. It has 12 formulas in there. If you just want to go do that like 5 times tonight, I bet you could memorize them. Flashcards. Okay? Find the volume of this solid. What type of solid is this? Triangular prism. The volume of a prism is big BH. What is the base here? A what? The triangle. What's the formula of the area of a triangle? What's the base of this triangle? What is the height of this triangle? How did you get that? It is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. How do we know it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle? Because it's equilateral. So right here, I'm just redrawing this right here. If the whole thing is 10, what's this right here? So what's my height going to be? 5 root 3. I did that super fast, but does it make sense? You just have to know it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Because right here, because I want the base of the whole triangle, even though I use this to find my height, the whole triangle still has a base of 10. Does that make sense? Honestly, that's a big mistake people make is they take this 5 and use it right there, but the base of this triangle is 10. Look up real quick. What's half of 10 times 5? So your big B is 25 root 3. What's the height of this prism? Remember, I know it's not how tall it is. If you were to turn it on its base, how tall is it? How far apart are your bases? That's what height is. And 25 times 14 is? (350 root 3 centimeters cubed.
How did you figure out this was a 36 cube?
What?
How did you figure out?
Because it is an equilateral triangle, and so we know it's 60, 60, 60. A soup can holds about 50 cubic inches of soup. What does that mean? Volume. What's the volume of a cylinder? But what's my B? Pi r squared h. What's the radius of this can? 2. And it wants to know what's the height. How do I get h by itself here?
50 divided by pi.
Divide by pi. And what's 2 squared? 4. So divide by 4 pi or divide by pi over 4. And you're literally putting that in the calculator. It wants to know what the height is to the nearest inch. So when I put that in my calculator, I do 50 over 4 pi. I get 3.979, which is what to the nearest inch. So the height is approximately 4 inches. Just round it. Okay? Turning over, and again, if you don't have all this written down and I'm going too fast, I'm posting this key in Schoology. Do this on your own and you can look at it later. For a cylinder, this one's really weird. The height is twice the diameter. So if my height is 8x, what's the diameter? 4x. What's the radius then going to be? The radius will be 2x. Does everybody understand that? It's weird, but do you get it? Okay, describe the expression that represents the total surface area. What's the total surface area of a cylinder? You're right. So pH plus 2b, it's the same thing as a prism. But what is the perimeter of a cylinder, a circle? 2 pi r plus 2, what's big B of a cylinder? Pi r squared. I think it's easier just to memorize this and then plug in what you know versus memorizing all that. That's just me personally. So perimeter of a cylinder is 2 pi r. The area is pi r squared. I just plugged in those. Now I'm plugging in what I know. 2 pi, my radius is 2x. What's my height? Plus 2 pi, my radius is 2x. What is 2 times 8? What is x times x? And then don't forget pi. Oh, this is supposed to be squared. Sorry, I forgot the squared out top. And then what is 2x squared? Four x squared. And what is 4x squared times 2 pi? 8x squared pi. Can I add these together? Why? They're like terms. They both have x squareds. They both have pi. So what's 32 plus 8? So 40x squared pi. And do y'all agree that looks really crazy? But do you also agree we just plugged in what we knew and just kept going? Okay. pH plus 2b. Cylinders and prisms. What if I just want lateral? just the pH, no, not the basis. Lateral is no basis, surface area is basis, total. Okay? If a spherical water tank has a volume of 972 pi cubic feet, what is the surface area? What did it give me? What shape is this? What's the volume of a sphere? Plug in what I know, and what do I do? Cancel out the pi's and multiply by 3. If I multiply 972 by 3, I get 2,916. And that gives me 4r cubed. Now what? If I divide that by 4, that gives me 729 equals r cubed. Cube root it. Does anybody know the cube root of 729? It is 9. And what are we talking about here? Feet. But what does my question ask for? How do I find the surface area of a sphere? So that is 324 pi. But it wants us to round, so just put 324 pi in the calculator. Or just type in 4 pi 9 squared in the calculator and you get 1017.9 squared. It's area, so it's squared. Okay. I think I'm going to finish. The Great Pyramid of Giza has a square base with the side lengths. Can y'all see the pyramid in your picture? It's kind of hard. Of 230 meters. Right? The whole bottom is 230 down there. And a height of 147. I want to know what's the slant height. Well, y'all, can I just make a right triangle? I know the height is 147. What's this bottom going to be? Half of 230 is 115. How do I find that? Pythagorean theorem? And just put that in the calculator. It doesn't tell me what to round to. So I'm going to do the square root of 147 squared plus 115 squared. And I get 186.639 meters. And on your test, it'll tell you what to round to. But that one wasn't so bad, right? What do you have to make sure you do till you don't get this one wrong, though? Add your units, but this right here. Divide it by 2. Don't make sure you don't do 230. Okay? All right, we're on the last 3 problems. Again, this key will be in Schoology. An ice cream shop serves snow cones in a cone-shaped paper holder. What is the surface area of the paper needed to make a holder? Y'all, you buy a snow cone. What are you wrapping in paper? Which is this should not say volume right here. It should say the lateral area. What is the formula for lateral area of a cone? 1/2 PL. What is the perimeter of a cone? 2 pi r. And what's r here? Be careful.
3.
R is 3. So, if my r is 3, 1/2 2 pi times 3. How do I find the L right here? Pythagorean theorem. With what numbers? 10 squared plus 3 squared. And if I put that in the calculator, oh, it wants the slant height exact. Well, 10 squared is 100. 3 squared is 9. So the square root of 109 centimeters is my answer. So I'm going to put that in the formula. How do I get the answer? Put it in Desmos. It wants you to round to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to do 1/2 pi, 2 pi r? Is that what it is? 2 pi, what's r? Oh gosh. Yeah. Parentheses. 2 pi times 3. And then was the square root of 109? So I got 98, but it wants the whole number, so just 98. 98 centimeters squared. That gave me 98.4, right? But it wants the whole number, so just leave it 98. I know I'm going fast. I have 2 minutes. I just want to get this one done real quick. If Maria places a basketball-shaped sphere with a radius of 6 inches inside, so the radius here is 6 inches, how much empty space would there be? What do we do? Volume of a cube minus volume of a sphere. What's the formula for volume of a cube? S cubed. What is the side if the radius is 6? 12. So this is just 12 cubed, 4/3 pi r cubed, 4/3 pi 6 cubed. 12 cubed is 1728. That is 288 pi. Y'all, if it says exact answer, don't subtract these. They both don't have pi. If it does not say exact answer, it says round to the nearest whole. Put it in the calculator and you get 823. The very last one is going to be in Schoology. If you did it, you should have gotten these two answers, 168 pi and 690. But that one says round to the nearest whole number, so it should have been 528. Study, memorize your formulas. Good luck.
Would I get in trouble if I didn't